Paradoxical. The sad thing is that many times we feel and see it as dark or consider it lost when we take that lesson of saying, I'm going to stop being there, giving myself away freely, even if you don't value me. I'm going to stop being in a place where I'm not given my due place, where I'm not being reciprocated. I'm going to stop being there, and then it's like, oh my goodness. If I consider it lost, then everything is lost. And we don't realize something important. It's that at the moment you take that step, which for you is like the last step, the saddest step, right? The moment I resign, I distance myself, and then there's nothing left to do. Because if out of the two, the only person who was willing is no longer going to be there, then that's where it ends. Everything is over. I lose sight of something very important in that little step that sinks you and makes you very sad, and you wake up the following days feeling terrible. You're not seeing clearly that your position has changed. That until those couple of days ago or until last week when you took the step, you were that which that person did not value. But now you have become something that person had but lost. And mentally, and I'm not telling you this to console you, I'm telling you very seriously, mentally it has nothing to do with it. That is to say, it is incomparable. The first position is the position in which someone is least likely to value us. Something that being able to choose, being able to have, being a tangible option, they decide not to take, and yet we stay there, right? Like, okay, you're not choosing me, but I'm not going too far. But every now and then, I send you smoke signals. Here I am, choose me. Or I keep showing you that I do choose you, and I keep looking for you, even if you don't look for me. And I insist and follow you. That is the position in which the person will undervalue you the most. That is to say, you will always be their last option. Why? Precisely because of your unconditionality. Because they know they can go out, meet others, and you're still there. They know that no matter how badly they handle things, you're still there. They know that without making any effort, you're still there. So it's a position in which the other person doesn't value us. Now then, the moment I stop being an option, I distance myself. But I truly distance myself. And now we will talk about this. I distance myself. I stop being an option to become a missed opportunity. It sounds very different, doesn't it? Yes, because it is. And our mind also perceives it in a very different way. An option that I always have within reach? Well, if not today, then the day after tomorrow or next year or never. A missed opportunity? A missed opportunity doesn't sound good to me. A missed opportunity can lead me to think. A missed opportunity sounds like something much more attractive. It's something that captures my attention much more. It's something that I might even end up longing for sooner or later, because our mind works that way. So, at that moment, when you think you've hit rock bottom, it's really your perception. No, my dear, you haven't hit rock bottom. You've finally taken a small step in the direction. The only direction that can lead this person to perhaps value you again. Now then, missed opportunities. Are missed. Firstly, because they are no longer accessible. And secondly, what makes them an opportunity is because they move forward. It's because they continue, right? So if you, for example, what you're looking for is, I distance myself, or rather, I pretend to distance myself in the hope that you will seek me out, or the only reason I distance myself is so that you will seek me out, and I remain there on pause, and I remain there in waiting mode. You continue to be an option disguised as a person of missed opportunity, and it is perceived. Energy is a tattletale, energy doesn't lie, and moreover, indeed, you will not move forward. So, you are not going to finish creating in the other. The feeling of loss, you are not going to provoke it, and you need the other to feel that they are losing you. That's why I always say, when we distance ourselves, it's not the time to sink into our misery. Why? Because sadness will lead us to apathy. It will lead us to not feel like doing anything. It will lead us to keep being concerned about the person. I understand that indeed the moment of surrender is a sad moment, and you have to digest it. But once you digest it, you have to completely detach from the fear of showing the other that you are moving on with your life. You have to understand that it is not a moment where you should sink or feel bad because you're finally doing the right thing. Finally, you are giving yourself reasons, first and foremost, to feel proud of who you are again. Because no one feels good when they are in a situation where they are not being valued. Sometimes they are not even being respected, not being considered, and there I am, right? And I resign myself to leaving. And I know it is often undignified and it hurts me. I feel humiliated. But does that weigh more on me than the pain of facing it, of believing that I have to leave this, being here? I can't, right? It has happened to all of us. Look, I'm not judging you, right? But when you are in that situation, you don't feel good. You don't feel good about yourself. When you finally take the step, the first thing is that you can finally look at yourself again and say, okay, I am acting with dignity. And now I realize by doing so that my dignity is important to me, because if I act outside of my dignity, I don't feel good. And if I don't feel good, I am not in a good place to like, to attract, to try to get anyone's attention. There are many times when we cling tooth and nail. I've talked about this many times, to a situation that has drained us, that we are already in a bad state, that has completely extinguished us. And it's like, no, I don't want to let go. Don't you realize how you are? You are not in a position to get what you want. You really need to say, to hell with it, let everything go. And look after yourself again and recover. Because until you recover, you're not doing anything there. So I say, it's not, oh, Amanda, it's that I don't want to eat, I don't want to sleep, I feel terrible. Why? If you're finally doing the smart thing, which is step number 1, you have to recover. Because you're not representing yourself. Your authentic self, nor your most attractive version, not even your average version. So no, it's not, oh my, what have I done? Oh my, I'm going to regret it. You're not going to regret anything. You're not going to regret anything because you're finally doing the right thing. So the first thing is it over being in an undignified situation that's harming me, that's draining me, that makes me feel terrible? No. So step number 1, I seek what? My recovery, my healing. I seek to be able to look at myself again with eyes that say, I'm doing well. And when I remember that person, instead of throwing my hands up and thinking, oh dear God, what am I letting slip away? You're not letting anything slip away. You're giving the opportunity for this person to finally focus their attention on you. You are finally getting out of the situation where you are most undervalued and positioning yourself in a strategically infinitely smarter, infinitely more attractive situation. You are positioning yourself, doing the only thing you can do so that maybe the person will respect you. And if that person doesn't respect you, that person won't be with you. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what message you send. It doesn't matter how much you show them you care. That's not where the problem lies. The problem isn't that this person has any doubt about your feelings. The problem is that in most cases, this person no longer respects you, doesn't take you seriously, and you have to make them take you seriously again. And you can't do it while you keep insisting to someone who has shown you that they are not reciprocating. Stop viewing time through a torturous lens. Spare yourself. I guarantee it. Spare yourself. That person is not going to come looking for you on your timeline. You want, and it doesn't mean that this is bad. Truly understand and accept that time needs to pass, and time works in your favor because respect needs to be reestablished. Attraction needs to be reestablished. You need to recover, and it takes time. You need to heal. You need to become strong again, to feel good, and this takes its time. So, don't make the mistake or harm yourself by thinking, I distance myself. I believe that person won't look for me. That person who is not valuing you at the moment you leave is not going to look for you. And that doesn't mean they won't look for you later on. Not at all. It's not an indication of anything, okay? Imagine this. I don't know. It's as if, you have an intimate relationship and you want to take a pregnancy test and get the result at that moment. It's not going to give it to you. Does that mean you're not pregnant? No. It means you have to wait a month to see the result. Well, here, more than a month, we usually play with a minimum range of 2 months, or it usually falls within the 2-month range. Note, it's an estimate. What I can tell you is that it's useless for you to go through the ordeal of suffering terribly in the first few days because this person hasn't reached out to you. A week has passed, they haven't reached out, they're never going to reach out. No, what I can tell you is that they won't reach out in the first week. I'm telling you now. And it means nothing. It means nothing. And the passage of time benefits you. Why? Because if you don't have the person, you are already set. That is to say, in your subconscious, in your mind, in the end, even if you want to cling to a burning nail, you know that you don't have the person. But that person does know they have you. And they know they won't lose you in 2 days. And they know they won't lose you in a week. So time has to pass. Time has to pass for them to become aware that they have lost you. So take advantage of that time. Don't remain stuck, living the time torturously, believing that with each passing day you have fewer chances of them seeking you out. On the contrary, understand that each passing day is another day added for the person to realize that you're not bluffing, that they have truly lost you, that you truly transform, that you truly move on from being that option they didn't choose to the opportunity they lost. And on your part, make good use of the time. Don't remain sunk, as I say, in your sorrow, thinking, oh my goodness, this is happening, of course. If I distance myself and believe that if this person doesn't seek me out, tomorrow, the day after, each day, I have fewer chances. I'm going to fall apart. I'm going to sink a lot. And from that sorrow, let's see how I move forward. So, in the end, what happens? Well, I end up being that option that isn't chosen, but trying, believing that I am that lost opportunity when I'm not. Because in the end, I'm in waiting mode. So, don't stay in waiting mode. They won't look for you when you want, but it's okay. Truly understand that every day that passes is a day you need to add, so that the image of you always being there no matter what fades a little, and a new idea starts to form in the person's mind that now you are something they might no longer be able to have. And to reinforce that idea, the best thing you can really do is focus on yourself, on your recovery. That is, how do I focus on my recovery? By doing the right thing. For example, do you think checking this person's social media is good for you or bad for you? Does it help you feel better? No, it makes you feel bad, so don't do it. Do you think staying at home, crying is good for you or bad for you? It makes you feel bad, so go out, go outside. I don't feel like it, I don't care, go out. Does going for a run make you feel good? Then go for a run. Does going to the gym make you feel good? Then go to the gym. Meeting up with that friend or that friend who you know brings you well-being, then do it. One knows which actions are good and which are bad. So try every day, even if you have your down moments, to add more actions that make you feel good than those that harm you. And if you fall into one that harms you, quickly eliminate it. But really, seriously, and without getting anxious, without feeling the pressure that 2 weeks have passed. Great. Let it happen. Let time pass. Believe me, time works in your favor because it balances the scales, because it helps that person lose you so they can understand or experience what you've lived through for so long. Truly take advantage of this time to explore once again how emotionally independent you can be if you set your mind to it, to reconnect with your strength, inner peace, and resilience, because you are stronger than you think as well. And to understand that even in this storm, when you're overwhelmed by all those ideas of no, because I don't know what, and you imagine, well, it's over. No. I'm going to start thinking positively. Truly embrace more the idea of reaffirming yourself, knowing within you, I know that person made a mistake. I know they will end up looking for me. They will do it. It's a matter of time. But now, I need to dedicate the time to myself. I need to prioritize myself. I need to feel good again. I need to move forward with my life calmly, with the peace of knowing that nothing is wrong. I no longer have to do anything. That person is going to look for me. That's it. Period. No, I don't have to feel bad for having distanced myself. I don't have to think. I don't have to believe nonsense, that no one will believe me, that they won't look for me. Not at all. I just have to do what's right. And it's a matter of time. It's a matter of time for this person to change their perspective, change their focus, and realize. And be able to value me as I deserve to be valued. But above all, it's important that I first start valuing myself again. Because if not, I'm making it impossible. You have to do your part. Truly. And as I say, don't think. Do you think you're at your worst moment when you're finally getting back on the right track? Well, I hope this video helps you, that you liked it. If so, and you're not yet subscribed to the channel, I invite you to do so. Hit the bell because I would love for us to see each other again very soon. And until then, as always, I send you a big kiss.